listening to Average Joe's Chess, a chess podcast made by average chess players, but exceptional lovers.
We're gonna make love to you. Average Joe's Chess. We're gonna make love to you. Average Joe's Chess.
Joe Furs, what episode are we on?
Episode 32, baby. Let's do it.
I knew you would do that.
It's good. Well, I know you've come prepared with a bunch of facts about the number 31, given it being number 31. So go on, I'll give it to you.
It's number 31.
Episode 31.
Thank you, Joe Furs. Okay, it's episode number 31, Joe Furs. 31 is, pay attention now, Joe Furs, is the code for international direct dial phone calls to the Netherlands.
Yep.
It is the number of letters in the Macedonian alphabet, the number of letters in the Ottoman alphabet. It's the number of years approximately equal to 1 billion seconds.
Ooh.
And it's also a slang term for masturbation in Turkish.
No, it's not.
It is, according to Wikipedia. Now, all these 5 facts, I'm not going to say one is true, they're all actually according to Wikipedia. And one of them will be part of your challenge today, just like last week with the number 30 and your Triple X challenge.
Are you going to get me to wank off a Turkishman again? We've been through this.
Out of interest, that is the one I thought you'd enjoy most, but out of interest, which one do you think it will relate to? Macedonian, Ottoman, 1 billion seconds, masturbating in Turkish, or direct phone calls to the Netherlands?
I reckon it's going to be something to do with the Netherlands, isn't it?
I'm not saying, Jofers. We'll find out later when we find out. I mean, what else we got coming up, Jofers? Do you want to
Oh, mate,
do
we've
little
got a
recap?
shitload today. I think,
really haven't we?
don't quote me on this, but I think it could be 2 of our funniest challenges yet. Recapping from last week's challenges, so we'll be showing those later. That'll be good fun. You've told me we've got a sponsor this week, or an advert, or something like that.
We've got a quiz for you that involves a sponsor or an advert. Yep.
Okay. What else is there? We've got a message from one of our fans, so we're going to be talking about that. We've got some more from National Master Jesse Cohen. He'll be popping in for a little bit. What else is there? What have I missed out?
Nothing. I mean, that's going to be the topic. We're going to be looking at analysis, and we've analysed analysis this week, haven't we? And we've come up with some things. I mean, I think both of us are probably guilty of not analysing our games enough. And I guess the majority of you listening are the same. So we got some great tips on how to analyse games, if we should be analysing games, why we should, which games, all of that. So if you're still listening by the time we get to the end of it, we'll bore you shitless with that sort of stuff as well.
I've got the perfect challenge for you next week. It is a corker.
To do this week for next week's show?
Yeah, to do this week, and we'll recap next week. I won't tell you just yet. I'll wait till we get to that part of the show, but it's beautiful, man.
I don't like the look of your face as you're saying this.
No, it's not too bad.
Are you sure?
No, it's fine.
Well, you'll be pleased now. I've got a good one for you too, Joe, first. So, Joe Free, what have you been up to this week? We haven't talked about this for a while. We always go straight into our chess. You got anything interesting this week? Anything happened to you? Anything funny? You told me something about a security guard.
Oh, yeah, the cheeky shit. I love him to pieces, but so I work at quite a rough college, so we have to have quite a few security guards on the gates and inside, which doesn't fill you with lots of confidence when you're walking into work. But I was walking in, and he walked over to me, looking really stern and serious, shook my hand, pulled me in, and whispered in my ear, like, Joe, mate. I was like, yeah. He's like, are you hungover? I was like, you cheeky prick. I don't know why you thought that. I must have just looked really rough that morning.
It's just the look you put out, isn't it?
It is. I said, ask me again tomorrow. And yeah, he's a funny guy. But other than that, it's been a good week. I got back into my swimming, back into my football. I'm feeling good about things, though.
Oh, very good, Jofers. Like it.
How about yourself?
Yeah. I had something good happen, but that's part of my exceptionally loving right at the end. So I'll tell you about that after. Also had a funny chat with your mum, actually. We were talking about, and that's my sister for anyone who isn't familiar with the show. And yeah, basically we I don't know. One of Charles, who's put the question to us like wrenches and benches, he's in the US Army, and we have a lot of chat during our games that we play. He's a great guy, and we were just talking about toughening you up, Joe. First, you're always tired, you're always working, and you say, I'm too tired to enter these tournaments. It came about because of that. You've missed a lot of our club tournaments this week. And so I just suggested to him, maybe we put you in the army in America, if it's possible. I don't even know if it's possible for an English guy, but I think Charles is willing to take you on at least for a week, and just, you can have a week in the US Army. I pointed out it'd be amazing content if ever we do a YouTube. Jofa's in the US Army for a week. He did actually say that you'd probably enjoy it because they have lunchtime chess games. So I think you'd enjoy that.
Yeah, but they also have wars. Like, I can just play chess at lunchtime without the wars.
Swings and roundabouts, isn't it? You're going to have to do a few
swings and roundabouts. It's grenades and rifles out. It's a different ballpark. I ain't interested.
Jofers, chess is war, mate. It's a battle. It's a battle out there. It's a battle on chess.com. I mean, I've heard some of the comments and stuff. Anyway, I was telling your mom, and do you know what she said to me?
Go on.
She said, it's like very serious. She went, Joe can't go in the army. Joe's too pretty for the army.
Absolute bollocks, but I'll take it.
Too pretty for the army. It's hilarious. So
imagine a terrorist looking at me dead in the face, like, whoa, don't shoot, don't shoot. He's a good-looking chap, ain't he? Go on, lad, walk off.
Other than that, went to a Christmas fair today, even though it's only November the 26th. I guess it's a month away. Saw some Scottish guys in kilts and some people on stilts.
That's what Christmas is all
that's
about.
That's about it, Jofers. That is what Christmas is about. And your chess week, how's that been going?
Oh, Al, it's been a beauty. I hit my all-time record for bullet.
Really?
Yeah.
But this is probably not on your average Joe's chess account, is it?
This is on my secret one, practice cheat.
Never happened then, did it? Never happened.
But I need to transfer this over to my average shows. I need to, I should just start playing primarily on that. But I've hit 16.
What is it?
50, I think, something like that.
Ooh. Are you going to protect this bullet rating? Or
No, I've already lost it. It's gone.
Good. Good. So that's losing is part of learning.
It's true.
Probably.
So now I'm back down to like 1600 or something, but I've enjoyed it. I don't really care too much.
You're enjoying your bullet. And any other chess? You've been playing other time control, studying chess? Have you done anything? Ooh. Or have you just been
I learned something. I don't know if it's a bit sad, but I'm really enjoying it. But I learned my 2-bishop checkmate.
Really? I tell you what, Jesse, National Master Jesse Cohen, he's put a great video on YouTube that covers
That's where I got it from.
Did you really?
Yeah, genuinely.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it? I watched it as well. Yeah.
I always found it hard. No one ever actually explained it the way I needed to explain it. But just put your bishops in front of the king, keep walking up, in front of the king, keep walking up. And then you just got to, bring your king over. You got to watch it. When you see it and when he describes it, it's just so much easier.
It makes sense, doesn't it?
It actually shows how much of a difference a good teacher makes because I'm not just saying this to kiss his ass. There's so many times I've tried to learn the 2-bishop checkmate and just failed. But this time, got it.
People need to check it out. Should we put a link to his latest video in the show notes when we finish? Yeah,
go for it.
And what was I going to say about Jesse's? Oh, yeah, but you know what I was thinking? When was the last time you had a 2-bishops checkmate to deal with?
Never. I've never had one. But one day I will, and when I do, I'll be ready to strike.
Actually, I know Luca had one. Luca had one in one of our tournaments, didn't he?
It was against TJP. That's what made me want to learn.
Really? Just in case you face that same 2-bishop checkmate.
Nah, you never know, man. But you laugh until you have to do it, and then once you got to do it, you need to know how to do it.
I mean, it's genuinely worth putting 20 minutes, 30 minutes of studying in to, make sure you're prepared for something that's never going to happen.
This was me before I lost my virginity. All that studying hours, you just got to come prepared.
You've lost it now. Are you going to recap on that this week? Or?
Well, we're putting this episode out in 10 years, so by then I'm hoping it'll make sense. How about yourself, Al? Nice, how's your chess week been?
It's been all right. I've had quite a few good losing streaks.
Nice.
I don't know why. I just kept losing. But I've also done all right in our chess tournaments, but mainly because not many people turned up for them this week. Played my first ever Swiss tournament on Friday in our chess club. And that was really cool. I didn't really know what I was entering until I started. They were 10-minute rapid matches.
Okay.
What I played, one of the matches I was playing the King's Indian, but I faced a Queenside Castle.
Ooh.
I don't face that often, but I'd also prepped it a little bit because I'm doing Robert Ramirez's course on Chessable. And I'll tell you more about that after. But because of knowing what to do, I actually dealt, and I had a lovely game, and I managed to win it with a nice little pawn storm. So enjoyed that. I've played 79 chess games this week, Jofers. Is that a lot? 79 in 7 days?
Probably
79?
get through about 50 a day in terms of bullet.
Because you're playing bullet. You know, if you
Yeah.
go onto chess.com, click stats, you can give us your stats each week.
You don't want to know.
It tells you. Nah, so I did
In fact, can
79
you
games. I did
vamp for 2 seconds? I'm just going to find out how many games I've
Do
played.
it. So I did 146 puzzles in
Yep.
the same period of time with a 55% success rate. That's not great, is it? 55 I got right, and obviously 45% got wrong. I've been doing...
Oh, wow.
Go on, give us your stats and then I'll carry on. How many games?
Well, this is just
In
on
the
one
last
account.
7 days?
I've got 3 accounts. No, I'm on about my
yeah.
all-time one.
Oh, no, I'm just... all time is... You don't want to look at that. You
So in
realise
how many days, Al?
hours have you-
How'd you find that? Let me have a
7
look.
days.
7 days. Oh, it's a
yeah.
lot. It's a yeah.
Is
I'm not
it?
sure in terms of 7 days, but my all-time is now almost 17,000. It's not good.
Oh, my God. So you've been doing the same thing wrong 17,000 times.
You'd
Otherwise
think
you'd
I'd
be
be
like a
better.
Grandmaster.
How am I not a grandmaster now? I genuinely don't get it.
But is this all time just on one of your 3 accounts?
Yeah. It is indeed.
Oh my God. No wonder you're never available when I'm trying to get hold of you. In fact,
Priorities?
we'll talk about your challenge afterwards. And one thing that shocked me about your challenge is the amount of times you picked up the phone in it.
Mate, yeah, honestly.
But we'll get to that
we'll get
later
to it.
on. Did I tell you what I did as well this week that I don't normally do is Puzzle Rush. I've never really tried it, and I really enjoyed it. So the 5-minute Puzzle Rush, which for anyone who doesn't know, you're doing puzzle after puzzle after puzzle. I think they're getting progressively harder, aren't they? And once you've got 3 wrong, you're out, and it's how many you can complete in 5 minutes. And I think I got up to 21, and then I looked at my friends to see what they'd got, and Luca, your brother, had got 22. So obviously the competitive Al had to equal 22. So I then got 22, but then I thought, I've got to do better than that. So Luca, if you're listening, you need to get 25 because I'm on 20. Well, you'll need to get 26. Got to 25, and I found that challenging to get to 25. And then I looked at the all-time records. And do you know what the most someone's got in 5 minutes? It's Grandmaster Ray Robson, also known as Spicy Caterpillar.
I'm guessing 40 plus.
Jofers, you're nowhere near, mate.
50 plus?
91.
Oh, wow.
How the hell do you get 91? You've only got 5 minutes. I mean, how can you even move that fast to get
How many a minute
91?
is that? If my maths is correct, is that almost 20 a minute?
I'm not. Yeah,
It is?
you're right, Jofers. Like 18 a minute, maybe. Somebody could work this out.
It's a
and tell us.
lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot per minute. So, yeah, well done, Spicy Caterpillar. If you want to give me some lessons and Joe lessons, because I know Ray Robson does listen to the show, Grandmaster Ray Robson, then we'd willingly accept them. So, yeah, that's my week. Joe has been enjoying National Master Robert Ramirez's book on Chessable. That's been great. So I know I'll keep switching courses, but I'm going to complete this one.
I like it. Which one's this?
It's called... I knew you'd ask me that, but it's on the perk and the King's Indian Defence, and I do need to know what it's called because I'm chatting with Robert on Tuesday, and we're going to play that interview in next week's show where he's going to tell us all about these two. It's called something like Counter Blow or Counter Strike or something like that. It's on Chessable. That's how prepared I am. Jofers, what about the chess club? Have you... You haven't been very active.
Not a fucking clue. I genuinely haven't been on that account all week. I'm going to go on tonight. I've got some messages I need to reply to. Got a few games that I've now lost that I need to apologise for.
Fucking useless.
Lack of commitment now, honestly. What's the club saying?
No.
How's it been?
I've enjoyed the tournaments. There haven't been enough players in all of them. So, like last night's Seidel Saturday didn't go ahead because I was the only person that turned up.
You came second.
But it's a usual suspects, wrenches and benches.
Yeah.
Jan turns up, TJP, the Texas twosome. there's, the usual suspects and some new ones. Scottish Chess Guy, he was there. So it's great to get new people in. And if you're listening and want to join our tournaments, they're just a good laugh. And we've had rating range from anything from probably like 100 to 2,000 playing in the same tournament. And I can be beaten by all of you. So, you're always going to get a good win out of me, if that makes any sense. But we're up to, I believe, Joe, for something like 164 members, 165. Oh, cool. So, yeah, join our tournament. It's Average Joe's Chess Club in Google or on chess.com. We've got a nice snazzy logo. You'll feel like you're at a party every time you play. And on there, what we got, Joe? First, we've got 1 month free trial, haven't we?
We have indeed. You need to snap that up.
Yeah, man. So you can get... I think chess.com are actually offering their own 1 month free trial at the moment. But you might as well click our link because, it's a nicer link, isn't it, Joe? First,
it's a beautiful link, Al.
We put a lot of effort into that link. So, yeah, that's our chess club. Join us. It'd be great if you could. We'd love to play chess. And we just have a good chat and a good laugh. Been trying to encourage your mum to play, Jofers. Do you think she will?
I was talking to her about it today. She's got this fear of playing against real people. So at the moment, she's playing against bots and whatnot. And I was thinking back to when I started playing chess. I was the exact same. I was really scared to play against people. I don't know why.
Really? I've never had that fear of playing people online. Maybe face-to-face. But not online.
Not face to face, I was fine. For some reason, it was playing someone online.
Really?
Some kind of like inferiority complex. I don't know what it was.
Oh, we can look into this psychology. That can't be in a future episode, maybe, and maybe help a few other people overcome their fears.
No, 100%.
If you're playing against, so she's playing a couple of fuckwits like me and you, then nothing to be scared about, is there?
I mean, 90% of the tournaments is just taking the piss out of me. Like, chess is the other 10%. The other 90% is just me getting the absolute...
Even when you're not there?
Oh, no. Even when I'm not there, I've heard.
Yeah, it's just good. So, yeah, anyway, that's our club. Jofers, you know what I'm desperate to do is to hear your challenge from last week.
Oh, let's do it, Al. So, to recap, last week, Al sent me the challenge of finding a chess game on YouTube and kind of redoing the commentary. And, I tried my best to do it. I was thinking, how can I approach this? Because chess commentary, I think most people would find it a little bit boring from time to time. And, yeah, I just tried my best to kind of... I can't even remember. What did I do? I've completely forgot the challenge.
Okay, well, I'm not sure if you did what I said, but not how I expected it. And now listening to you recap it, I reckon you can't even remember what I said, can you?
It's been a long week, Al.
I'd set you that...
Yeah, no,
go on.
you go.
No, I'm curious as to whether you can remember. Go on.
So I can't remember the challenge you said, but it was something to do with commentary on YouTube. It was something to do with like commentating on a Masters game.
Okay, what you were supposed to do was do some YouTube commentary, but make it spicy, make it sexy. It's because it was the 30th episode, and it's triple X. 30 is triple X in Latin, so I thought triple X. So I was expecting something like, Nakamura's at the table. He's sat down. Look at the way he's rearranging those pieces.
I would have been
sexy
good.
like that. Was that sexy?
Yeah, it was very sexy. I'm turned on. Oh, it was nice.
Got you going, didn't it? Yeah, you look really turned on. But I've got to say, I mean, play your challenge, Jeffers. I have heard it. You have played it to me already, haven't you? So I can comment on it. Let everyone hear it. But I actually think you hit the brief as well. I found it very sexy, Jeffers.
There's a lot of accidental sex content in there.
Accidental sex. There's a hell of a lot of accidental sex content.
All right,
pretty much like in your life in general, I reckon.
Yep, 100% true.
Jofers, you wish.
Play it, man. We'll play it. Hi, welcome back to Average Joe's Chess Commentary. Got a really good game in store for you today. I think you'll really like it. Chess.com, if you're listening, consider this a bit of a job application. If you need anyone to commentate on tournaments, anything like that, I think I'm your guy. So, yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so pawn e4, rook f7, knight f3. Oh, I should have put my phone on silent. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to be 2 seconds. I'm going to take this call, and then we'll get back to the chess. Hello?
Hi there. I saw your advert online.
Oh, yeah, the advert on Gigolos for You. That's amazing. So basically, I've got 3 packages offering different services depending on how much you want to spend.
No, on Facebook Marketplace. The sofa?
Oh, the sofa. Yeah, ignore what I just said. Do you want to pay cash or card? Hello? Hello? Oh, nah, never mind. Where was I? Bishop d4. Rook f7. Knight d3. Pawn b... Oh, for fuck's sake. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Sorry about this. Hi there. I take it you've seen my ad on Marketplace and you're after the sofa?
I saw your advert on Gigolos for you, and I'm after some dick.
Oh, God. I am taking that advert down. Fucking hell. Ooh, that's a close one. Anyway, where was I? Knight f7. Pawn d4. Pawn captures b3. And the king moves forward to... Oh, for fuck's sake. Hello, what do you want?
Hi, this is Abigail from Mensa. You sat a test with us recently and we wanted to give you some positive feedback.
Oh, brilliant. I don't even remember sitting an IQ test.
Oh, no, not that Mensa. Mensa as in men's sexual awareness. You've tested positive for gonorrhea.
Oh. I see. Oh, anyway, okay, yeah. Alright, where was I? Knight b7. Queen f3. King d4. Oh my god, you're having a laugh. Oh, what do you want?
Hi there, this is Simon from Amazon Delivery.
Mhm.
Sadly, we won't be able to deliver your recent purchase.
Right, okay. Why is that?
Well, sadly, your package exceeds the maximum length.
Oh, well, thank you very much. It's not the first time I've heard that. Oh. Hello? Hello? Must be poor signal. Anyway, where was I? Knight d7. Bishop f4. Queen... Oh, Lord! Hello!
Oh, hi there, this is Jesse Boom, and I'm from Texas. I just wanted to let you know I love the show, and Joffrey, you're my number one guy. Al is a little bit of a tosser, don't let him get to you. Keep up the good work, Joffrey. I don't know why I went from Texas to fucking Kermit the Frog. Oh, shit.
So what did you think, Al?
Ah, Joffers, you gigolo, you dirty bastard.
And you're not going to
love
believe
the
this, Al.
end.
Not a single one of those telephone calls was fake. It all happened. Can you believe it?
I believe that, man. You sold the sofa, you sold
did.
yourself. What? So GC Boom was that at the end?
It was. Can you believe I got him in? I feel so bad as well because, first of all, my Texas accent at the best of times is shit. But then halfway through, I think I forgot what accent I was supposed to be doing. It just became Kermit the Frog, and I felt so bad.
Can I just ask you as well? You went, my Texas accent at the best of times is shit. So what? You've done this accent many times.
Oh, it's all I ever do.
That's the first time you've ever done it, isn't
No,
it?
walk around the house doing my Texas accent. It's
You
a nice
turn up at
heartwarming
parties
accent.
going, howdy.
Howdy. You gotta do it.
that what you
The
do?
funny thing is, I've never heard him speak, and I have no idea what he sounds like, but I'm guessing it's
I
not like
have.
this.
I have, and it's not really like that.
Is it
but
not?
I mean, I think you did it. At first, I did question it. I thought, oh, no way, he's got GC Boom to do the end of it. And then I thought, no, that's Joe. But the other ones, oh my God.
Oh, can I
they
quickly
were
say, GC
bloody-
Boom, if you're listening, can I challenge you for this week? Do an impression of me and Al and send it in.
That would be so good.
That would be good.
Yeah, GC Boom, Gambit's Queen. If you do an impression of us two, that'd be excellent. Well, who do you think would play who? Do you think
Ooh.
Gambit's Queen would play me or you?
I think me. I think I've got me and Gambit Queen. I think, yeah, it'll be us two. And I think you and GC Boom, I think, are quite alike.
GC will play me. Yeah, that would be good. But no, I loved it, Joe. Genuinely, I cracked up. I listened to it the first time and laughed, and I listened second. It made me laugh even more. I loved that
Brilliant.
one. Great effort. You hit the brief and missed the brief at the same time.
Completely forgot.
And not just that. Hopefully, Jonathan is listening. Jonathan, Invisible Chess Jonathan from the Invisible Chess podcast. Because that is the way he could be doing his invisible chess from now on, like reading out the moves.
Taking phone calls.
Maybe he'll get you on his show and taking phone calls mid thing. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
He could do. And did you realise, I don't know if you noticed, but the game I was reading out was actually the opera game.
Of course I knew that. Yeah.
It wasn't really. I think the second move was like King H4. It was just...
I was actually going to play it out and think,
Yeah,
is
it's
this a real
bollocks.
game or is Jofa's just making shit up?
Absolute bollocks. Talking of bollocks, Al, you've got a bit of a... Oh, it's not a sexy story, is it, this week? Is it a sad story you've got
It's
for
not
us?
sexy. You challenged me, Jofas, to write a sad chess story.
Tearjerker.
You said tearjerker, that was the word you used, so a real tearjerker. I tried my hardest, Joe, first. I don't know, we'll let the public decide what they think. You, listener, tell me if you like it or not. It's quite hard to write comedy and sadness at the same time.
Okay.
And chess. But chess is sad and happy, isn't it? So
True.
maybe I've done it, I don't know. And I've continued on our theme, you know, so if you haven't heard any of these, Halloween special, have a listen to that. That's part 1 of our story where Joe, not you, Joe, is it? It's not based on you at all, but it's Joe and his holy underpants, pretty much like you've got Joe, gets in the ice bath, and I won't ruin the story. That's in the Halloween one. And then I think in episode 29, you challenged me to write an erotic version.
Yep.
So I continued it with an erotic version, which was based on you being in the psychiatric unit and trying to get, I think you summoned the ghost of your dead uncle. And so this one, well, we just pick up from there. So if you'd like me to start, Joe, first, I have racked my brains on what accent. So Halloween was more like, Joe got into the ice bath.
Yeah.
Sexy was more, you told me I was doing it wrong and that, so I made it quite like, Joe got into the ice bath and tried to make it a bit sexy.
Yeah.
Sad, I've been struggling with. I've tried it out on some family members, and 2 of them just said I sounded really pervy. I'm not sure
please
why.
give me that voice, though. Go on.
I'll do it in that voice. So I was thinking, what is one of the saddest accents I can do? And obviously it's a Brummie accent, and I'm from Birmingham, so it's quite easy. So, do you want to cue the sad tearjerking music, Joe, first?
There's the music. Take it away, Al.
Thank you. Joe was on a mission. You may recall, dear listener, that in the last erotic instalment of this ludicrous saga, Joe had summoned the ghost of his handsome, charming, muscular, toned, intelligent, witty and modest uncle to assist him in improving his depressing donga delivery system. His uncle, who Joe had unwittingly killed during our Halloween special episode, was excited to help Joe increase his sexual prowess, which, incidentally, listener, will happen to you too if you 5-star rate this podcast or join our Patreon. Before any instruction could happen, though, Joe had to escape from a secure psychiatric unit where he was being held after incessantly sniffing bishops whenever he had the chance. How's the sad accent going? Do you think it works?
It's not. I wouldn't say it's a tearjerker. I am leaning more towards the perverted side of things.
Okay, I'll carry on then. Prior to his incarceration, Joe had missed his uncle and greatly regretted killing him through the careless use of his uncle's ice bath. There had been many nights that Joe had spent curled up in the fecal position, whimpering
Is that fecal
and lamenting. Fecal. Yeah,
like
isn't
it.
that what it is? The fecal position?
It is
you
now.
curl up like a piece of shit on the floor.
I love it. Imagine doing
there'd
first
been
aid
many
on someone and you're like, oh, you said roll them into the fetal position. My bad. Wait until you see what I've done to them.
Oh dear. Wipe those tears away, Joe, first. I'm going to carry on. There had been many nights that Joe had spent curled up in the fecal position, whimpering and lamenting his carelessness in allowing his disgusting underpants to dissolve in the water that sadly his uncle had inhaled. He deeply regretted fondling his uncle's big, beautiful bishop and letting it slip into the bath, where he again, acting with a lack of care, left it without any thought of how it could inadvertently end up in his uncle's anus. It just sounds funnier in a Brummie accent, uncle's anus. Sometimes sadness would overwhelm him, but the bucket loads of tears that would stream down his face would provide a source of comfort as he collected them in ice cube trays, froze them, and later served them in cold beverages to anyone who was stupid enough to visit the miserable sick fuck. Having his uncle back, albeit in ghostly form, had lifted Joe's mood no end. He was now making plans about all of the things they could do together once he had escaped the hospital. His thoughts were flooded with a cheesy film montage on loop of him and the way too cool for ghoul exceptional lover having tons of fun, debating chess theory, chess history, watching chess on YouTube, going to classical chess tournaments together and sitting in silence for hours whilst giving each other little knowing nods and smug smiles. Joe would play the thrilling Mind movie over and over whilst adding to it the classic Bill Withers song Just the Two of Us in a beautiful yet off-key Brummie accent. It was during one of those euphoric moments as he was skipping around his padded cell, gyrating his hips and doing the odd shoulder dip, that he had a rare moment of inspiration. He pressed pause on the small penis-shaped pretend remote control that he held in his hand. Singing out loud now, he recalled the words of the chorus. Just the two of us, we can make it if we try, just the two of us. Just the two of us, building them castles in the sky. This was it. It was a sign. Castles in the sky. His uncle was currently a resident of the chess club in the sky, and castles were what some people called the rook in chess. This is insane, he thought. Castling is also a chess move. He knew he had a choice to make. He wished he could discuss it with his uncle, but unfortunately he was off gallivanting and using his ghostly good stuff to take full advantage of his time on Earth. Joe channeled his uncle's quizmaster voice and asked himself,
Jophers, what is the best way to bust myself out of this place? Is it A, take advantage of the gregarious nature of rooks and over a period of years attract enough of them into the grounds of the hospital to create a rookery, where in the fullness of time I will design a rook costume and wear it as my bird buddies fly me out of here? Or is it B, go back in time and not fondle my uncle's big beautiful bishop, but instead pick up a rook from the board and leave that in the bath, its crenulated top not being streamlined like a bishop would never make it into my uncle's mud dungeon, and thus my uncle would survive the ice bath, meaning I would never fall prey to madness? Or C, do a castling maneuver and switch places with my uncle, not in the afterlife of course, but on one of his aforementioned earthly jaunts. What was the answer? What should he do? Joe racked his feeble mind but couldn't decide between the three plausible options. Finally he made a decision. He would do what he should have done more of whilst his uncle was alive. He would seek and then follow the counsel of his wise uncle. Later, when his uncle returned from his night out, Joe excitedly told him of his inspirational moment and asked him which of the options would work. It was as if someone had dropped a heavy weight on Joe's cockbeans. The look of disappointment on his uncle's face made him feel sick. Oh, nephew, I wish I could provide you with the answers, but I can't. None of the three ridiculous options that thou hast presented me with will work. You see, whilst I have been out having the time of my death sampling the many delights available to a distinguished and experienced spectre such as myself, I have also been selflessly using my precious time to interview all of the disappointed, unfulfilled lovers that you have left behind. My findings indicate you tried out too many openings but never became proficient at even one, that many nights were left on the rim, and your preferred time controls were more bullet than classical. Because it would appear that you were slow to complete your development, you rarely succeeded in mating, but became an expert at the stalemate. Not only this, Joe, but you are certifiably insane, and I don't even exist. I am a mere phantasm that you are drawing solace from. You are living your life vicariously through my imagined ghostly exploits, and that is okay, but will in the end only lead to a life of regret. You must atone for the depraved acts of your past and present life and become the exceptional chess player and lover that you were destined to become. You must train hard and do all of the painful yet well-meaning challenges that your uncle set for you and that your fear and apathy caused you to skip. One day, greatness will be yours and you will become the man that I was. But first, as hard as it may be, Joe, you need to release me. Let me rest. My eternal slumber awaits. I'm shagged out and I can help you no more. Joe felt like a pillowcase in a cavity wall. Depression instantly overwhelmed him. But then the sound of keys rattling in his cell door abruptly ended his rumination. From the other side of the door he could hear the nurse's frantic words. He's talking to himself. He's talking himself into a depressive state again. Don't worry, I'll go in and sedate him. Joe retreated to the rear of his cell. Pushing his back against the wall, it was all too much. Oh, I've messed my bloody accent up, haven't I?
What the fuck
I'm
was
a
that last
bummy
accent?
anyway, so it works. He looked into the nurse's eyes as he entered the room and was thrown into further self-doubt and confusion. This was no nurse. It was Magnus Carlsen. Joe, you need to listen to me. Your uncle faked his death to avoid the consequences of an unfounded chess cheating scandal.
No, I'm sorry to interrupt. Magnus Carlsen or Vito Corleone from The Godfather?
Both. It's fantasy. It could be
Okay,
both.
carry on.
This was no nurse. It was Magnus Carlsen. Oh, wrong accent again. You just bloody took the
Sorry.
sting out the end of the
I wasn't
story.
expecting Vito Corleone to pop in.
Joe, you need to listen to me. Your uncle faked his death to avoid the consequences of an unfounded chess cheating scandal. It's all water under the bridge now, and he sent me here to bust you out. Come on, we haven't got much time. To be continued.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, that was something
Enough
else. That
chess
was
in it this time, wasn't there?
There
I
was.
got a lot of chess into that.
a lot
It was
of
a bit
chess.
lengthy, a bit wordy.
Yeah, a lot
But,
of accents.
it needed to be. Yeah, needed to happen. Did you enjoy that, Jofers?
Oh, I didn't cry. I won't lie, but it was internal
It was
tears.
sad though.
Yeah, it was sad.
Internal tears sounds disgusting. Was it sad?
Is that hemorrhoids? Have I just described hemorrhoids?
It's something like that.
It's got the
I have got a
internal
funny
tears again.
hemorrhoid story, but I'm not going to tell you that one right now. And when I say you, that's everyone, isn't it? So why did I even say that? I forgot there's people listening. I thought I was just talking to you.
But that was beautiful, man. You smashed it. I really enjoyed that.
Jofers, so I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to possibly in the future resurrecting the story and doing part 4, maybe now that Magnus has hopefully busted you out, or not you, but Joe, our character. Maybe we can reunite you with your uncle.
I mean, I've got good news for
There
you.
you go, Jofers.
Good news and bad news.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be writing again this week for your challenge, but it's not going to be... I know, it's not going to be similar in the way, in terms of, like, it's not going to be a happy, sad, sexual, the ones we've covered.
Yeah.
I want you to rewrite a classic.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I've got a classic
That
in mind.
sounds
I don't know how, but I want you to do a chess version of Jaws. You know the film?
Yeah.
I just kind
You
of
want to do a
rewrite
chess
it.
version
Yeah,
of
make it more
Jaws, for
chessy.
fuck's sake.
Yeah, I don't know how.
How the hell am I supposed to do that? That's quite a big task, that is. I've got 1 week to rewrite Jaws in a chess version.
I want you to fund it, and I want to see it in cinemas by next week. Okay.
Right, I'm going to give Steve a call.
Yep.
And
Stevie
not your
Spielberg.
dad. Or not Spielberg. Shall I ring Spielberg or your dad? Which Steve do you reckon would help me on this project?
I reckon my dad. I don't think this is really
Your dad would
Spielberg's
be good at
ballpark,
this.
is it?
Nah, we'll get your dad in on this one. All right, thank you, Jofers. I
No
will
worries.
rewrite Jaws in a chess theme in a week. You bastard.
What have you got for me, Al?
How did you come up with that, you bastard? What have I got for you? Now, do you remember at the start I gave you 5 things it could have been on?
Yeah.
So it's related to the number 31. So, Jofers, your challenge is, remember number 31, it's number of letters in the Ottoman language.
Yep.
Is that correct? And it's also the number of... no, it's Turkish for wank, isn't it? Or
It
to
is.
have a masturbate. So what I want you to do is go into a Turkish barber's, and I know there's some near you, and I want you to aggressively challenge them to either a game of chess or a masturbation contest.
Oh,
It's up
can't
to
it be
you
both?
which. and record it.
Oh, let's do it now. Perfect challenge.
Jofers, that isn't your challenge, don't worry. They've got cutthroat razors,
you know
man.
what you are?
You come out sliced up.
You're a cock tease, that's what you are.
They would slice the hell out of you, Jofers. There'd be nothing left of you if you went in and challenged them to that. No, what it is, Jofers, you were right initially. Number 31 is the dialing code for the Netherlands, and I know you're fond of speaking Dutch.
Yep.
So I thought we could revisit this. On the internet, if you search, you'll find loads of chess clubs in the Netherlands. So what we can do is ring up a chess club this week in the Netherlands. You can use a bit of basic Dutch to start with. Maybe Jan can help you. Just a simple hello, my name is Joe. Do you speak English? Something like that. Record your conversation with them. And then basically just tell them that you're interested in interviewing Anish Giri. And does he turn up at their chess club? But you're also very confident you can beat him at chess. And, you're going to help. This will help accelerate his career and interview with you, that sort of thing. If we strike gold, you're going to be in the Netherlands, maybe Amsterdam next week, either interviewing him or imagining you're interviewing him, depending on whether you end up in a pub or a coffee shop,
Okay.
or a chess club.
I feel
How
like
do you feel about that one, Joe? First,
it's a good challenge.
I mean,
but
I'd hate it.
you know, last week how I
would
kind of
hate
got
it.
confused with the challenge and sort of did it, but sort of didn't. I'm really worried that I'm going to end up wanking off Anish Giri in a Turkish barbershop. Something's gonna go wrong, and something happens at the end of these episodes where I just forget what I'm supposed to be doing, and so I am nervous. But
I was just drinking tea as you said that. I nearly bloody belted it out everywhere.
But
That's hilarious.
But yeah,
Well, I'm hoping it goes wrong.
so's Anish. But no, it should be okay. I think we'll be good.
Excellent, Jofers. Well, last week we played an advert to attract sponsors, and we actually may or may not have attracted a sponsor this week, Jofers. So we're going to roll an advert,
Okay.
and then I'm going to ask you, because you don't know whether we have or not, whether it's a real advert or not. Do you want to play that ad?
Yeah, let's play it. I want to hear this.
Do you get bored playing chess over the board?
Want to spice up your games a little? Custom carved chess pieces are what you've been looking for.
All you need to do is send them your design and they will 3D print the chess pieces of your dreams. The sky's your limit. Imagine playing chess with pawns that look like your kids, or you could turn yourself into a king or a queen. How about someone you hate? They can fashion one set of pieces into carved replicas of your enemies, or even those irritating work colleagues that you fantasize about destroying. But wait, there's more. Each piece can be made with a programmable sound activated by pressing a button in the base. Imagine the hilarity as you let out a king's fart after you escape from a check, or maybe you'd like to hear your loved one's voice giving you a compliment. This chess set will boost your confidence, inflate both your ego and your rating. It's really simple to order as well. You've got a choice of templates and there's user-generated content, so designing your piece or pieces is simple. Don't want to commit to a whole set? Then just order one piece. Other options are also available, such as laser cut stainless steel and CNC carved wood. You really should order your set now. Go to 3dchesspieces.com and get creative. Jofers, what do you reckon? Did we get paid or not?
A few questions, Al. First one, there was a line in there about the work colleagues that you fantasize destroying. Now, is that a multifaceted line, or did you just not think about it when you was writing?
They wrote it and sent it me. I just assisted them a little bit if it happened.
Oh, okay.
They wrote the ad.
It's got to be a real company. It sounds like a good product.
It does sound like a good product. So you think it's a real ad, real company?
Yeah. Is it not?
Nah, come on, Joe, you winded me off.
No, so you came up with it.
It should be, shouldn't it? So we're just giving someone a great idea. Cut this bit out, Joe, we can actually make these products. We can start selling
We can make
them.
millions here.
Imagine that. Just like chess pieces, you send them a design, they'll 3D print it with your face, whoever's face, with a little button that you can just record voices into.
It'd be so good. It'd be so. What comes to mind for you? Would you go for family? Would you go for, I don't know, like The Sopranos, or what would you do?
I'd go I'd go in the Turkish barbers. I'd get all of them, Anish Giri and you, and I'd just set it up as all those guys, and I'd just see what happened.
It'd be the dream out.
And I'd also make sure it was a wipeable board, wipeable chessboard.
You'd have to. Oh man, but I thought it was such a good idea.
Anything come to mind for you? Who you'd set it up as?
Ooh, I do quite like where you're going with it. I think it would be fun to do family. So when you play against them, I just reckon people wouldn't even clock it. They just wouldn't think. I don't know.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
They just wouldn't clock it.
Oh, somebody needs to design this.
Mm-hmm.
We'll endorse it. You design it. We'll endorse it. Joe, quickly patent the idea.
Yeah, let's do it. I don't know how to, but I'll find a way.
Nah, we can work it out. Joe, first, last week, as usual, we asked people to send in questions.
Mm-hmm.
You can email us at averagejoeschess.com. Is that right? averagejoeschess@gmail.com. That's the one. Or you can go on our website, averagejoeschess.com, and there is a speak pipe button, apparently. You click that and you can leave us a voice message. Wrenches and Benches has left us a question, 2 questions, and we're going to discuss one of them now, aren't we? But we're going to play both of them and then discuss one now, and the other one is relating to analysis.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Discuss that one.
Let's play it.
Hello guys, Wrenches and Benches here once again. I have a 2-part question for you, not related. My first one's pretty easy. It is, what is or are some of your most memorable moments from your illustrious chess careers? And my second one is a little bit more in depth. So a lot of people say that you learn more from the games that you lose and from making mistakes. So I personally find that I have a hard time learning from game analysis and such, especially with my online games. So my question is, what is your process for reviewing your games, your mistakes, and learning from them, and also implementing things that you learned? Thanks, guys. Once again, appreciate it. Look forward to hearing from you.
Okay, so yeah, thank you for that, Charles. The first one that comes to mind, so like Al said, we'll split this into 2. We'll get back to the topic one in a little bit, but in terms of most memorable chess moments, it's going to sound so stupid, but you know those memories where it seems too good to be true. I need to call up Luca to make sure this actually happened, but I remember it happening like 3-4 months ago. It seems too funny to have happened, and it popped into my mind literally a couple minutes ago when listening to that. I was playing chess with him in the garden, and he was leaning back on his chair. We're playing over the board chess, and out of nowhere he falls back, and it's like a big hoo-ha. It's really funny. But when he gets back up to the table, he had like a slug attached to his face without realising. Just this slimy slug that must have been on the grass, just attached to his face. And it was just very funny. It was very memorable.
It wasn't his penis as he fell back. His penis flopped out, landed on his face.
Sadly, our family aren't that gifted. I wish we were. But that came to mind for me. Other memorable chess moments. See, because I don't compete in tournaments, I haven't got any like big victories or anything like that. But
no, I think when Charles mentioned illustrious career, he's probably referring to Jesse, isn't he? Because
true.
Neither of us have illustrious careers.
That's
in
true.
chess.
That's true. So before going to Jesse's, can I hear yours, Al?
Mine actually is also in your house.
Okay.
So my one, Joe, first was in your house. It was in your kitchen, and I think we've told the story before, but I'm going to mention it again.
Okay.
And it was to do with blindfold chess when we were playing blindfold chess.
That was a good one.
And I was playing you. I had the board. You were not looking at the board. I'd make my move and tell you, I've moved e4, and then you would go e5, but you weren't looking. Mm-hmm. And this went on, and regular listeners will know what happened. But Joe was a bloody natural at it. I was thinking, wow, this guy's gifted, talented at this. It's amazing. I can't believe he had that challenge. And then you beat me after about 40-odd moves.
Yeah. It was a good game.
And then when I was praising you and everything, and then when it turns out you'd been leaning on the breakfast bar with your back to me, putting all the moves into a phone. And it was just that, why it's memorable for me is just because for that one moment, I thought I was in the presence of
greatness,
I
of
know.
genius. I just thought this guy is like the next Bobby Fischer or something, and we just haven't developed these talents in other areas of chess. But when it comes to blindfold chess, he's a world beater. And then it was just, as I said in the story, it was like somebody had trod on my cockberries, and it was like bam, that just went. When I realised you were using the phone, but it was hilarious. So that's
funny.
one. I did have a second one. Oh, my other chess memory is literally just me and you having a conversation about doing this podcast probably a year ago.
Oh,
and saying,
that's
should
lovely.
we just do a podcast? I was just walking along, listened to some other chess podcasts. We talk chess, and we thought, why not have a chess podcast?
Yeah.
And what a fucking stupid
I know.
idea that was. Here we are now,
That's a horrible
wasting
memory.
our Sunday nights chatting chess.
It was around
So,
Christmas
they're
time,
my
wasn't it?
two. Yeah, it was this time of year last year. It was
Yeah.
actually this time of year.
Oh.
Probably this week coming up. And then it took us till May, didn't it? It took us
Mm-hmm.
about 5 months of just procrastinating and not bothering to do anything before we actually got our asses in gear. And since then, it's been one a week every Sunday night.
Smashed it, man. That's a lovely memory. Yeah, so that's
And we
up there
also
for
asked
me.
Jesse, didn't we?
We did. Shall we play his answer?
Yeah, Jesse Cohen, National Master Jesse Cohen. Let's hear what he has to say.
These are great questions. The answer to the first question is that one time when I was growing up, I was playing against this kid in our club. I was a kid too, and we were playing for first place. And there's two things I really remember about this kid. Number one, he always wore these white gloves like Mickey Mouse. And the other thing was that in this particular game, he was losing. But we had both seen that movie, Searching for Bobby Fischer. So he sat there for a good, 5 minutes straight, which to me felt like an eternity. And he repeatedly extended his hand and said, "Take the draw, and we can share the championship." And I just politely declined over and over again, and then won the game.
What a little shit that guy sounds. He sounds awful, doesn't he?
You know what?
Yeah.
Those gloves, it's the gloves,
know.
the white Mickey Mouse
Jesse's
gloves.
too nice, man. I would have clotted him on the nose, man. If he's telling me to just
You would have told him,
take the draw. Nah, I don't like that.
go fuck off back to your snooker table and referee that match instead.
Oh, that is the poshest
Who wears
put down
white
I've ever
gloves
heard
to a
of.
chess match? Oh, that is a put down, isn't it? Go on, go and referee your snooker match, you little shit. Go on, Mickey Mouse.
Beautiful.
Take the draw. That's a good one. Thanks, Jesse, for that, and thanks, Charles, for asking the question. Joe first. This is a bumper episode, man. We got a lot to get through.
Oof, we got a lot.
Should we do a true confession?
Yeah, we got our first ever confession. It's it's a beauty. I don't know. Have you read it?
I have read it. It's from Mitch, not Mitch's real name, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to give judgment, aren't we? They're asking for our judgment and for you, listener, for your judgment. Let us know whether Mitch deserves forgiveness or, to be condemned for this. Joe, do you want to read it out? Do you want me to read it?
I don't mind. You've got a nicer reading
Joe,
voice, but I can go for it.
I'll sit back and have a cup of tea.
You enjoy?
Go on, Joe, first.
I'm not going to do your pervy Brummie accent, even though that is my natural accent.
Was it pervy? Was it pervy?
I think Brummie accents tend to be a little bit pervy, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, can't help it, can we? Go on then, Joe.
Okay, so, dear Al and Joe, I need to get this off my chest. Please, could you listen to my story and tell me whether or not I deserve forgiveness? Little spoiler, he doesn't deserve forgiveness. It's quite bad. But yeah.
Should we just move on then?
Case closed. Okay. I played chess as a kid back in the 80s, but not at a serious level. I basically knew the rules and could move my pieces around. I enjoyed the odd game, but nothing more. Years later, when I discovered online chess, I thought I'd give it a go. I loved it and became hooked quite quickly. I improved a little too, and I made steady progress at becoming a better player. I found that I was thinking about chess a lot and would fire up my PC as soon as I got in from work and then just play a few games. I played mainly 10-minute rapid matches back then. I didn't really focus on learning the game, but focused more on learning through playing. I didn't mean to start cheating, but one day I just thought I would experiment. I know, it's taken a turn. Didn't mean to start cheating, but I thought I would just experiment one day by simultaneously feeding my opponent's moves into the game I was playing into a chess computer on another screen. I know, it's getting... There's more, Al. Fasten yourself in. I just used it to help me get out of the openings as I found it hard to carry on doing I've forgotten how to read. I just used it to help me get out of the openings, as I found it hard to carry on doing it once my clock was running low. I told myself it wasn't cheating, as it was only the opening theory, and it was just like playing memorise moves without actually having to memorise them. I think it was Henry Ford who said something like, why should I memorise facts when I can just look them up in a book? I like that. That's a good quote.
No, it's true.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true.
But
some facts are useful to know, aren't they? I mean, you don't want to touch a live electrical wire because you didn't memorise the fact that it's going to kill you.
That's a very good point.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Anyway,
take that, Henry Ford.
This guy, what's the person's name again?
Mitch.
Mitch needs to bear that in mind, I think, before quoting Henry.
Mitch is in hell. He ain't got time for this stuff. So
don't judge too soon.
All right, okay. Let me read it to the end. So that's just how I justified it. I know it was wrong, and I know it was cheating, and eventually, probably after a year or so, I stopped doing it and stopped playing chess as much. I'm not asking to be judged on any of this, though.
Okay.
Yeah, this is where it takes a turn. Okay. I met the love of my life in 2012, and in 2014, we were married. On our first date, I told her how I was pretty good at chess, and strangely, she seemed really impressed. What does he mean, strangely? It's an impressive thing. I always bring that out on the dates. Yeah.
Did you write this? Carry on.
It is hitting a little too close to home. I might have exaggerated a bit and told her that I had beaten a few chess masters in online games, when in reality, I was nowhere near good enough to have done this. I thought this was just a throwaway comment made on a date where I'd had a bit too much to drink. Little did I know that she would tell her family and friends how much of a good chess player I am. It's getting caught up in his lies, Annie. So, as the years went by, I found myself at a lot of family events getting asked about how my chess was going. I kept up the lie. I was lucky and got away with it as no one ever challenged me. In reality, I hadn't played a game since about 2012. Things became awkward recently, though, when my wife offered my services as a chess coach to the local school that our kids go to and that she teaches in. She can be very persuasive, and I can be weak sometimes. I ended up running a chess club and coaching the school team. In a panic, I had to read as much about chess as I could and blag my way through the sessions. I know that the kids saw through me, though, because a lot of them were clearly far better than me. It's getting sticky. So a few weeks in, some of the parents had made comments in the playground, and to be honest, it was embarrassing for my wife and the kids. I decided enough was enough, but instead of confessing, I just made up excuses and missed sessions until in the end, I just stopped turning up. I want to know, whether any of this is justifiable. Not the cheating bit, as I know that was wrong, but all of the lies. It did, after all, lead to me getting a wife and now 2 great kids. I also have had, based on my chess, the respect and admiration of a lot of close friends and family, especially now, as chess isn't seen as nerdy. Do I come clean with the facade, or do I continue? Joe Al, tell me what to do. And yeah, we'll tell him exactly what to do. It's spicy, isn't it?
That is spicy. Jesus. So, I mean, cheating, never. No. I would never cheat at chess. Have you ever cheated at chess?
No, no.
I've never just told everybody that you cheat.
No.
What? Other than the blindfold chess?
Oh, yeah.
That you clearly cheated.
Other than that, no, I haven't.
I mean, just what would be the point of cheating? Anyway, we're not here to debate chess.
Support ladies, by the sounds of it. This man's got a wife and kids and a whole life all based on cheating.
I know. And the family, all her family, all the friends, based on him just lying and saying he's a good chess player when he clearly isn't. But I was thinking, we've got a podcast, but we didn't ever say we were good. We said we were average. It's not like we're blagging and pretending we're national masters.
True.
Or grandmasters or anything. He should have just at the start said, I play chess.
Mm-hmm.
Why did he have to go and lie?
Well, it's interesting now. I haven't told you this, and I hope you don't mind me kind of running away with this. But I saw the email address that this was sent from, did a little bit of digging. He had his name and his birth year, and actually found him. And as a little guest speaker on the podcast, I've got his wife. Shall we introduce her?
No.
Nah, imagine. That would be beautiful, wouldn't it?
Oh, jeez. I thought they'd sue us, Jofers.
Mate, if only.
So you actually did some digging?
No, I couldn't find anything. I think this is wrong. Just leave him to it.
Joe, do we condemn them? Or, I mean, I personally think it's a moral dilemma. They've lied. They've had plenty of time to come clean. But it's just run away with it. I mean, obviously, I guess they were playing, they've probably had chess gifts. Family have bought them, chess books.
True.
But I suppose they've just said I no longer play chess. That's like what I imagine. I was good. I no longer play. Wife's encouraged him to play again. He's doing this bloody chess club. I don't know, Joe Furs. I mean, you know, I've coached a chess club at the school, but I clearly told them I was average at chess, and luckily most of the kids except one wasn't brilliant at it anyway, so that I got away with it. But I was honest from the start. It's an embarrassing situation. Joe Furs, condemned or forgiven?
Forgiven for me. I'm going to, put my neck on the line. I do not condemn this. I think he hasn't really gained anything out of it. Minus the wife and the kids and job and stuff. 2 kids,
like, 2 major things.
He hasn't like
respect and admiration of people.
Exactly. He hasn't like gained financially. It's not a scam or anything. He's fine. Boys will be boys.
Yeah. So we're going to tell Mitch, just carry on as you are. Don't come clean.
Keep it up, lad.
Just don't come clean. Sod it, man. Take it to the next level, Mitch. Tell her that you've beat some grandma. In fact, Mitch, take a week off from your family and just tell her you're competing in a chess tournament and bugger off to Qatar or somewhere for a week.
Oh, which is the most corrupt agony aunts out there. I love it.
We're bad, aren't we? So
if anyone's listening, by the way, if you've got something you want to get off your chest, just send it in, man.
Oh. Like a bra or something.
Well, seeing as my mom is the main listener of this and my grandma, maybe not. But
wrong, Joe,
am I okay to move on? Because there's actually a really nice link to some world chess news. I don't know if you know this.
Ooh, I might do. What is it?
So is it Vladimir Kramnik, former world champion?
Yeah, I do know what you're about to tell us, but please fill us all in.
So essentially, who would you say top 2 players have been in recent years in chess, other than us two?
Yeah, other than us two, probably Jesse Cohen and Robert Ramirez.
Okay.
And other than those two,
who's third and fourth?
Should we go for Nakamura and Jesse Cohen? Jesse Cohen again.
Can't get
Jesse,
him off your
if
mind.
you're listening to this, yeah, Jesse, we love you, man. Magnus and Nakamura.
Exactly. They've kind of just taken the world by storm over the past 15, however many years. The two of them at the top of their game, and Kramnik has come out. He didn't say Nakamura by name, but he posted something like 39 games or something of a certain grandmaster, and basically just highlighted that he thinks they're cheating, and it's taken the chess world by storm because one of the best chess players in the world has now been accused of cheating. Did he cheat? Did he not cheat? Kramnik, is he in the wrong for outing him? Blah, blah, blah. What are your thoughts?
I think most people would acknowledge Nakamura hasn't cheated.
Oh, yeah.
And he didn't just do it. He just came back. Nakamura was pissed off, wasn't he, with Kramnik and Nepo. Is that what his nickname is? Nepo.
Yeah, Nepo reposted it.
He reposted something on Twitter. I love all this chess drama, and Nakamura got pissed off with that too, rightly so. But didn't he then come back with something like a 47 game live stream win or something like that? Or something insane. He just won loads of games. This just, like, I heard David Goggins, when he takes, in his last book, he was saying when people say horrible things, insult him, he puts it all on a mixtape and walks around the house listening to it and laughing at their insult, and it fuels him because he's a psycho, obviously. And Nakamura, I reckon he's done the same thing. This has fueled him to have massive.
He seems like that kind of guy, then he gets fueled by like the negativity.
Yeah. But also Kramnik, I think the video, wasn't it filmed in like with a backdrop, I'm assuming, that's like a bunker. It looks like he's recording it in a bunker. Yeah. It's all gone a bit dark. I don't know.
This is why I love chess. It shouldn't have drama. So when it does have drama, it's funny.
I'm going to put an offer out there. Kramnik, get in touch with us and we will judge you next week. You can write your true confession. Or any of you, top GMs, get in touch with us. We will keep you anonymous. Yeah, we'll keep that. We might say that. Don't know what happened to my mouth. I don't know what happened there, Joe Fuzz. Joe Fuzz, should we move on to our topic? Or you got any more world chess news for us?
That's all I got, man. That's all we need. That's some big chess news.
That's all we need. That scandal. We don't need to know matches. We don't know need to know who's winning why. It doesn't matter. Scandal's good.
But you know what does matter, Al?
Tell me, Joe Fuzz.
Chess analysis.
Oh, it matters so much, apparently. Probably. Charles's question, Joe Furs. He was asking about the process used for reviewing games and implementing what you've learned. So, Joe Furs, I mean, should we play Jesse's response first?
Because what we usually do is me and you ramble on for
go on.
10 minutes about something we don't know anything about, and then we're like, oh, actually, a National Master has actually answered it, so probably should have played him from the start.
Yeah, play Jesse's answer.
to answer the second question, there really doesn't have to be a specifically right progress. However, this advice to review our own games and look for mistakes is handed down to us by many, many top-level world champion grandmasters. It's just a really good idea, just like a football coach might review plays and replays and try to spot these, improvements and present them to the team. We have to do the same thing. We are looking for any and all improvements that we can find for both players. It could be tactical, it could be a plan, but again, like basically the review process is to really get deep into the game, deeper than you were able to get in the actual game, because you don't have the stress and time pressures and weight of the world on your shoulders. So there really is no wrong way to go about it as long as you try to dig deep. I also recommend making sure that you're improving your openings by seeing the opening database after each game, so you're improving your preparation. But yeah, the most effective way you can review your game is without any assistance, without a computer. Go over the game and try to make as many deep notes as you can and look for any and all moves that you think you can improve upon. And then after you're done, turn on Stockfish, or better yet, get a coach and run your ideas and improvements by the coach. Do they actually make sense? Are they actually quality improvements? A coach is going to be able to tell you that. A computer is not. A computer can only just tell you what the best move is. But yeah, it's a very, very important process.
So Al, what are your thoughts?
Well, obviously Jesse knows what he's on about. What I found interesting, so I listened to this first, and then I did a lot of research this week on it. Mm-hmm. But the first thing that I hadn't really thought about was he says something about not just your moves, but your opponent's moves. Yeah. I only analyse my own. I never think of looking at what they've done and whether they made the right move in that situation. 100%. And I guess you don't need to in terms of looking, did they make a mistake? Because you can't change their mistakes. But it's analysing it from the other side of the board, I guess, and just seeing how your moves looked from their side as well. So I liked that, and I liked him saying about, dig deeper. I like the fact that no time pressures.
Yeah,
so you can just take your time and have a look at it. And, the other bit that I found interesting as well was he was saying, like, do it without a computer first.
Yeah, it surprised me, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. And then run it by Stockfish, or even better, run them by a coach such as Jesse Cohen, who you can book to have coaching with online, I believe. Mm-hmm. So, do that sort of thing. So that's what I thought. What anything...
I think
stand out for you.
Yeah. The bit that stood out for me was the sports kind of analogy. It's so true. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm a big football fan, and the idea of playing a game and winning that game and then not analysing it as like a top footballing manager, it's just, you wouldn't do that. You'd still analyse it. You'd analyse the games you win, the games you lose. You would.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's so true. And I think every sport does that, and chess isn't any different.
No, exactly, Joe. So, I mean, from my research, it was saying basically the number one reason for reviewing and evaluating your performance in anything that we want to get better in will, if done correctly, help us to improve. So, do you analyse everything you do, Joe, first?
No, because I play so many bullet games, I'd say I analyse maybe...
I'm not talking chess, Joe, first.
Just in life?
I was talking like your love life. Just sit back after your performances and think, I could have done better there.
There's no room for improvement. There's no need to analyse.
That was a stalemate, that sort of thing. Or...
No, sadly not. It's I kind of...
Fair enough.
You complete and you move on now.
I mean, what we thought was looking at it from outside of chess. We were discussing it earlier, weren't we? Like in jobs, you review your performance and so on. The website reviewing.com was saying that in reviewing, because I thought, what is reviewing anyway? What is analysis? How can you and it said basically reviewing processes include reflecting on the experience, analysing the experience, making sense of it, communicating it, reframing it, learning from it, all that sort of bullshit. And then what you were talking about, the UK Sports Institute said performance analysis is driven by a sport's need to understand and improve tactics, technique and movement achieved through the delivery of real and lapse time objective feedback. Discipline focuses on enhancing interventions within the coaching process to elicit a performance gain and augment learning, essentially informing the athlete and coaches what actually happened as opposed to what they perceive to be happening.
Okay.
And I think, to me, that's interesting as well, because what you think happened in a game. So I've analysed a few of mine since researching this week, and what I thought happened in those moments, when I've dug a bit deeper, as Jesse said, and looked into it, that actually probably didn't happen the way I think it
and
played out.
Sometimes it's heartbreaking, isn't it? You know, where you make a sacrifice and you think, I'm so happy I found that sacrifice who won me the game. And then you look it back, it was shocking. And you're like, oh, I'm so lucky they didn't.
There's times I've finished games, I thought, I've won them and I've made some good sacrifices. I thought, that was great, man. I'm going to send that to Luca. I'll send it to Joe, brag a little bit about how clever I am in these games. And then I've run it through the analysis and thought, shit, I got like 56%.
Yeah.
You know, I actually didn't do as good as I thought I did. But it was saying, like, to achieve repeated success, coaches and athletes have got to know and understand what they have done right and wrong, I guess. That's the key. So why should we analyse chess games, Joe? First, we've got some pros of why you should analyse, and these are from chessify.me. We haven't made them up ourselves, but they're good. They're good reasons why we should analyse. Joe, first, have you got them in front of you? Do you want to?
I have indeed.
Let me have a cup of tea.
Yeah, of course. So, shall I read out all of them, or the ones that kind of really stand out to me?
Yeah, I would just say read them out, and then we can discuss. I mean, I won't read the whole sentences. But
go for it. So, to start with, gaining sharper analytical skills. So you train your mind never to treat moves superficially. Instead, you make it a habit to look deeper into a position and understand it better, which is a must for chess mastery.
I never thought of that before, Joe. If you're analysing the positions, then when you're playing the games, you'll notice those positions more. So it says something, don't treat the move superficially. So when you're actually making the move. And I remember Robert Ramirez, when we interviewed him in episode 7 maybe, and he said something about when he was playing chess, he'd make a move, but he knew that at the next chess club meeting, his coach would get him to analyse every move and question him and say, why did you move your king there, Robert? Why did you do that? And that, if you're asking yourself those same questions, because you've just analysed it, so when you're actually playing the game, you're sort of analysing as you're playing rather than just making superficial moves.
100%. The second one is probably one of the more key ones as well. So understanding opening mistakes better. Starting well is half the battle in chess. So understanding your opening mistakes will force you to study the theory and improve your opening knowledge. I made the same mistakes pretty much every single time.
Yeah, I think there was Noel Studler, is it something like that, Grandmaster? On his website, he tells a story about his dad, and he was playing. He taught his dad to play chess as an adult. I think his dad was bored going to tournaments, watching, so he thought instead of watching, I'll participate at the same time. Okay. But when he looked what his dad was doing, he'd just been playing the same opening and making the same error constantly, but without knowing he'd been making the error on that particular move. And we're all guilty of that. I've been playing the King's Indian and the Perk, and since doing Robert's course, I've been thinking, I've been completely cocking that position up. I keep thinking that is the move I'm supposed to play, but it's not even in there. And that could be potentially why I'm losing loads of games. Yeah, and being just sort of generally
multiple reasons. This one kind of follows on from that last one to a certain extent, but more for the general game. So identifying your weakest points. Which parts of the game do you make the most mistakes in? Determine where you need improvement in terms of... I've completely misread all that. You need to improve on the way you speak, the way you play chess, all of that good stuff. But then you need to work on those aspects
thoroughly. I'm going to review this. I'm reviewing the podcast when we finish. I'm going to analyse it and suggest some improvements for us both. But I think that's just obvious, isn't it? You're going to spot things, hopefully, and think, I'm constantly missing forks. I'm constantly missing... for me, it's... pieces that can move backwards and take me. I'll just miss it. Like there's a queen hiding in a corner at the top of the board, and I've just forgotten. I'm so focused on one section, I'm not seeing the board as a whole. So I know I do that, and I know I do it during the game though. So maybe that's not something I'd pick up through evaluation. There's probably other things that I miss quite a lot. But that's me.
I mean, the next one I find really interesting. So evaluating psychological responses to specific moves. So besides your brain, your emotions are also involved in a game. So analyze how you respond to your opponent's moves and how they affect your outcome. I shit myself with certain moves when
100%.
they like pop up every single time, but I never think to analyze the game, so I know actually how to respond to that move.
Do it next time.
Yeah.
There's when I play, there's something that always gets me, and I should learn to deal with it better.
Go on.
And I shouldn't be saying this because we're going to be playing people and they're going to do this move to me all the time. But it's when people do I say stupid, they beat me with it, pushing all their pawns at the start of the game.
Okay.
And my head, the psychology of it is, you bloody dickhead, I've got to beat you now. I'm going to thrash you because of that. I just need to find a way to break through. You're not treating me respectfully by playing this weird bullshit opening. And then I put too much pressure on myself, balls it up and lose, or I spend too long and lose.
It's true.
So I've been analysing games this week. I mentioned it after, but one thing I did, and I got this from some research I did, was actually so I started writing down my emotions while I was playing. I'll talk about it in a minute. Do you want to go on to the next one, Jokers?
Bishop B7, horny.
Have you been reading my database? You have, haven't you?
It's interesting stuff.
Cheeky bastard.
Spotting opportunities. Missing the right move in a position is often more than just an oversight. You can gain an advantage by spotting the chances your opponent missed and using them to win the game.
I think we're all guilty of that, aren't we? We miss a lot of opportunities. Just don't actually spot there was a chance to do something.
That's why the full chess.com subscription is good. Sadly, I don't have this, so you can do the review. I just have to do the actual, just using Stockfish and using the analysis because I don't have chess.com. Yeah. But if you have the full membership, which we're giving the trials for if people want it, it literally tells you where you missed the big opportunities, so you don't have to go through and look at every single move. It will literally just say, you made your best move on this move, this was an excellent move, this was a howler, don't do that again. It's so good.
It is really good. I use it all the time, but that's something I want to talk about as well in a minute.
Okay.
In terms of the best ways to analyse, we'll cover that.
Shall I just tell you the last point then?
Go for it.
Determining the game's turning point, find the move that changed the entire course of the game. If you lost, figure out how best to respond when something similar happens again. If you won, figure out how you could have won earlier and with fewer moves.
That is, I often look for that. In fact, the couple of games, I'm such a fun dad. I was showing my daughters some analysis I'd done of a couple of games, but I didn't bore them with the start. I just bored them with the end. I just showed them like the bit that I felt was the turning point of the game. Was it the turning point? Maybe my analysis wasn't deep enough, but I felt it was. And sometimes you can just look at the bar, can't you? And you could see it was 0 or 0.01 or 0.1, and then all of a sudden it swings up to 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Obviously, that was pretty much a turning point.
One thing that I've been finding interesting, because I have actually, ironically, this week or last week, really got into analysing my games. And there's been a few times where I've been playing a game, and it will show you the 3 best options for each move. And I've had games where it'll be like a +8 advantage for black, where black are literally, they're destroying you. Black are about to get a checkmate. It's just, they're like essentially 8 pawns up to a certain extent, or the equivalent of. They're really smashing it. But the second and third option both have advantages for white. So if you don't find that top move for black, you're fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
It's mad. So it's like, you're dominating, but only if you can find that one best move. And if you don't, you're buggered. Yeah. It's interesting.
Talking of that sort of thing, I love watching some of the tournament games in our chess club.
Yeah.
So when I'm not in the game, you can observe the other games, but the analysis bar comes up on my screen.
Oh, okay.
And you just watch how much that thing swings.
Dances, doesn't it?
Toby's easily going to win this. He's +8. And then, wrenches and benches will do something. And all of a sudden it swings to -8.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy, especially when the time pressure's on. But yeah, so, I mean, so that was the next thing I was going to mention, but I think we've discussed it a bit anyway. Do you analyse your games then, Jofers?
I only tend to analyse the games where, like you said, where I feel like there has been a turning point, where there's been something in a game where I think, you know what, I want to analyse this just so I can kind of dive a little bit deeper because I think I missed something here, or I think I did something that was really fucking good, which is quite rare, but like, it's just when something out of the ordinary happens.
you find like a lot of us, you only analyse your winning game?
100%. It feels so nice.
You sort of lost. I want to forget about
Honestly.
that. I just want an ego trip and look how good I am. Look how good I play.
You feel like such a grandmaster when you're going through a game. But like you said, but then you find out you got like 27% accuracy and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah. But I wonder if there's more strength, if you gain more strength in analysing your losses. If you just look at all your losses and think, why did I lose? If that's better for you.
100%, 100%.
I mean, I think, and it's something I want to talk about at the end, but a lot of us don't put the effort into analysing. And maybe that's just because we enjoy playing chess.
It's a lot easier just to click that next game rather than analyse.
And just enjoy the game and not worry about improving through the analysis. But if we were going to analyse... Yeah, whatever. If we were going to do that, Joe, first, how should we do it? So we've got some notes on that too, haven't we, that might help people out. It's definitely helped me out this week. Do you want to read them as well, Joe, first, or do you want me to cover them?
Get out, man. I'm charging you extra
You're flying,
this week.
I'm loving this.
All right.
You've got such a lovely reading voice. It's beautiful.
You literally
Joe,
said earlier that drummy voices sound perverted. And now you're telling me I got a nice voice.
Can't be asked, you.
All right, so how should we analyse our games? Al, you need to check your opening. Sorry.
I always do.
Sorry. I genuinely have to swallow them. You got to check your opening moves.
Oh, you don't want to...
I genuinely...
It's bad choice of...
It's awful timing.
Bad choice of words.
You
Go on. Check your opening.
You need to check your opening moves and mistakes. If you don't fix your opening mistakes, you will be making them over and over. Maybe your opponent made a move you weren't expecting. You can learn how to deal with it for the next time you face it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true, isn't it?
Or as Al wrote, you can learn how to Della with it next time you face it. I had to think on my fears, like, what's that supposed to be?
Next time we do this, I'm just going to put some funny stuff in the notes, so when you're reading it out, that'll be great.
Have you seen Anchorman where they find out he reads whatever is on the auto cue, so they can put anything in there?
That's what I'm going to do.
He just ends it, go fuck yourself, San Diego.
You have to play with your bollocks. Yeah. Next time, we'll definitely have to add some stuff in. It's true, Joe. First, to me, I didn't make a mistake in this particular game that I analysed this week, but they made a move that I wasn't expecting. Okay. And I thought that's a weird move to make, but I've since found out it is a common move in the opening, and I've since also learned how to deal with it. That's what, but I wouldn't have done that if I hadn't analysed the game.
That's what it's all about. So you need to also pay close attention to critical moments. Are there any key moments when you had to make an important decision, such as starting an attack, sacrificing a piece, or going defensive? Analyze to see if you made the right choice. Look for the moves that you were unsure about and play through them, and or the alternative lines. Use the engine to look for moves that you might not have spotted.
And that's what we talked about, key moments, wasn't it?
Exactly.
But it's also, I think, thinking as you do it, and this is where typing notes, when I was talking about emotions and stuff, but also typing notes. So you're just saying, was that a crucial moment? Why did I take so long thinking? Because that was an important move to make. Did I make the right decision? Let's go back and just analyse it. You can't analyse every single move in a match in depth. It'd take you forever, wouldn't it?
But what we're about to cover in a second is what moves you should be analysing. And it's a hard one to analyse, but you need to look at your blunders. Blunders more than mistakes and misses. These could be too in depth, but with blunders you can see if you made glaring errors like missing a backward bishop move. You can train to then try to eliminate your common blunders. That's you in a nutshell.
Yeah, exactly. But if you try and look at so chess.com, I've noticed it will say you made a mistake or you made a miss, and it went you missed a chance to win a pawn. And you think, oh bloody hell, how did I miss that? And then you click it and it says show moves, and you realise that to have took that pawn, you'd have to do 20 perfect moves, and in 20 moves' time, you'll take the pawn. And you think, I would never have spotted that. Fuck you and your mistakes. I didn't make a mistake at all. I made a mistake following these 20 moves, but I think your blunders are glaring, aren't they?
Yeah.
So if you've made a blunder, you can actually look at it and think, why the hell did I do that? And then if I read somewhere about if you could just, when you're at our sort of level, if you can just play a game without blundering, you'll just win loads of games and wait for your opponents to blunder, because most people will do some big blunders at this level.
It's very true. Another key thing is to practice time management. So which moves took you the longest to make? If you had improved pattern recognition, would that have helped? What were you trying to decide about? play through the alternative lines that cause you to think. Sometimes it'll be a 5-minute game, and about 3.5 minutes of that could be on one move.
Yeah,
Genuinely.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You can look back and analyse them. Why did I take so long making that move?
Because of my internet connection, usually.
It's shit.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing, pattern recognition. You can look back and think, why did I take so long? If I'd known that particular checkmate was so easy, if I could have done an Arabian mate there, but I just didn't understand that pattern, then it would have been a lot quicker. I wouldn't have had to waste so long and then eventually maybe even make the wrong move.
Yeah. Got another interesting one here. When's the best time to analyse your games, Al?
Well, I know the answer because it's right in front of me, Joe.
Go on, you take over.
Very soon after playing them, maybe as soon as you've played them. Because you can't remember afterwards what the reasoning behind your decisions.
Exactly.
So you could analyse a game 2 weeks later, but you think, why did I do that move? Whereas I've been doing this week some in-depth analysis as soon as I've played the game, and actually I've gone through and thought, I've moved that queen there to support the pawn storm, but actually maybe the queen would have been better placed on the other side of the board or that sort of thing. And you'd forget that by the time. Well, probably forget that unless you're Magnus with his photographic memory.
You got it. Another important one is to pay attention to pawn structure. So notice how the pawns move.
Doing that.
Did you end up with isolated pawns, passed pawns, etc.? Did you push too soon? Did you create weaknesses or use your pawns effectively to support other pieces?
I don't really think about pawn structure. I'm thinking of it more now in these daily games I'm playing, because I notice most of them go to an end game, and having an isolated pawn or doubled pawns, it does actually bugger up your end game. But what's interesting is to do the analysis and look back and think, at what point did I mess my pawn structure up? It was working perfectly. Something Robert Ramirez in his videos is about having pawns next to each other. The best places for pawns is standing next to each other, not staggered a lot of times. And once you've pushed one forward, you've actually created a gap behind it,
and you can never take the pawn back.
Something can jump into. You can never take the pawn back. Not once you've used it, Joe, because all the pages are stuck together. Shopkeeper's not having that back, mate. Analysing end games. Was there something that you did well or something that held you back? Would you benefit from Would you benefit from improving your knowledge on certain aspects of the end game? For example, did you struggle to checkmate with two bishops? That's me. You didn't, did you? You don't.
I got it now.
Not anymore.
There we go.
Yeah. So that is important. You know, look at it, work out, can I improve on this bit? My end game, where am I going wrong? You love end games, don't you, Joe?
I love a good end game. I'm shit at them, but I love them.
You do love it. Do you think you'd be better at them if you had longer time? It's just sometimes we're having to make rush decisions.
I would, but I think some people are naturally good at end games, and I think openings I'm not good at, middle games I'm not good at. But for some reason, I don't know why end games speak to me. I think it's because they're less creative and they're more kind of fixed, like more, what's the word?
I think they're structured and logical, aren't they?
Yeah.
And there's solved, less pieces on the board to think about, and you can just really focus on how to get those pawns through if you want to get a promotion or something.
I love it.
And what's the last one, Joe, first?
Just to take notes. So write down on your analysis of why you played a move, how you were feeling, etc. So you tried this on chessboard, didn't you? And
I did.
Yeah, you said it might not be for the
average
Joe.
It was chess base. I did it on chess base.
Oh, was it?
It took me ages, but I did annotate my game and write down all the moves. You couldn't do it on every game, but maybe if you've had a particularly good or bad game. And I did it, and I wrote down, I'm not sure why I moved this here at this point, but I was thinking they might have done that. And just maybe you'd read through it at some point, and it just helped me remember. It goes back to saying we analyse games immediately, and we know what we've done. This way I could look at that game in a month's time and still remember why I made those decisions, Joe. So that's how you should do it. The other big question is, Jesse said, play it yourself first. Don't rely on the engine. And that got me thinking. And a few months back, I'd spoke to or emailed Grandmaster Jonathan Levitt, who's a retired chess grandmaster. But I was curious, so what they did when he was at his peak, because you didn't have computers and stuff at the same level as today anyway. So I asked him, and he just said, before computers, we used to spend ages searching for the truth in positions using a board and pieces, stronger players often worked in pairs trying to do this. So, yeah, I mean, he's also written a book on comedy called Contemplating Comedy, which is good. So I thought I'd throw in, when he said strong players often work in pairs, why would you work in a pair, Jofers? Why not like an apple or a banana or something like that?
They're fucking awful.
Is a pair more spacious?
I think so. Awful.
But yeah, but it's interesting. So it made me think they used to work in pairs to look for the truth in a position. I mean, that sounds interesting in doing that. I guess engines give you the truth in a position now. I'm not 100% sure. But I was thinking, we've all got that pair now, haven't we? You've just got a computer. You can work it through
exactly.
if you wanted to. You can just literally look at it and ask the computer to give you advice if you've got a coach.
Yeah, some of my favourite chess
better.
moments have been like with you, Luca, some of my friends and stuff, and just literally working through certain things and be like, oh, but if I had to move this and blah, blah, blah. Like, you don't have that against the computer.
That has been good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even like I was going to open up a chess.com classroom and look at one of your mum's games with her this week and go through it and see what we could look at. And even though it's not like literally searching for the truth, it's just suggesting a few things. But you can do that now as well, can't you? A classroom on chess.com and work together.
I mean, what is the best way to analyse a game?
Exactly, Joker, as well. So, I mean, not everybody would know, but I guess most of you would know that, you know, simplest method, you just click on the green game review button, which I think, did you say you can only do one if you're not a member, one a day? As a member, you can do unlimited. My personal experience of that is it is excellent. However, it's what I just said. It'll tell you you've made mistakes and misses. And when you actually look at it, you think, well, it wasn't that bad. And the other thing I find is sometimes I just think it's sort of a throwaway experience. I just click it. I think, oh, yeah, I got 82%. I got 74% accuracy. Don't really analyse. I'm just looking for like bragging rights, saying, oh, look, I got 90% on that. That's great. I'm not analysing. I might go through then each move and it picks out key moments for me and suggests better things. But again, it's sort of throwaway. I'd spend 2 minutes doing it and then hit next game.
Can I just say real quick, if the engineers at chess.com are listening, I don't share these thoughts. So if you want to hire me and kind of commission me or whatever it is, I'm happy to represent you and your brand. I would never slag you off in the way that Al just does.
But it is a beautiful system if you remember. I mean, I love it, Jofers. I use it. Bring it back, Jofers. I use it all the time. A lot of value to be gained from it. However, chess.com offers you more, Jofers. You can get more depth. So you can click on the magnifying glass button that says analysis. So I do what I've just said, but then I actually click the magnifying button that says analysis.
Okay.
So then I can actually move the pieces and play through different lines.
Cool.
So I'll look at, you know, a position it said, oh, you could have done this. And then I'll click analysis and then work through different scenarios of what I think could work. And I'll look at the bar and see which moves are coming out the strongest. Yep. But there is also something I didn't know about this until yesterday. You can click a button that says toggle charts. Have you ever tried that?
I've never seen that.
And it just gives you loads of information on a chart that made no sense to me whatsoever. So maybe somebody could explain that to me. And there's also a button that says play against computer, and you can choose the engine's strength.
That's something I do a lot.
So you could just stop the game at that point and then continue again, especially if the opponent's resigned early or something and you wanted to see how it would have played out. I think that's really valuable if you do that. And have you ever done this? You click on the openings tab in the analysis and then it'll show you what moves you've played and then give you sort of, if you played e4 in that situation, white wins 60 games, black wins 40, and then you click that and then you can look at what move is played next and what's the best move people played. And it's grandmasters it's analysing, not just average Joes like us.
That would be funny to have like a separate analysis opening thing for like just me and you and other idiots.
I think you can do that. Friends on there or something.
Cool.
I think so. I might be wrong. And you can also click on the learn icon. I've never done that before. It's like a little hat, a mortar hat or whatever they're called. Okay. You know, the ones that people wear to graduate. That's on the left on a PC, mainly, not on the on your phone. Yeah. You go to analysis and you can load a game from your archive. You can paste in the FEN or PGN. I don't know if it's FEN or PGN. And click load from the Explorer, and then you can analyse your games. You can analyse master games. You can analyse other players' games. I mean, we're only talking about analysing our own games. Obviously, you can analyse other players' games. That would be instructive, but it's not going to help you as much with your own style of play as looking at your own games. Which makes me think, Jofers, which games should you analyse? Like Blitz, Bullet, Rapid, Classic, I don't know. So me personally, I think Bullet, unless you want to become really good at Bullet, I think they're just too quick. I think you're just going to make so many bloody mistakes. I mean, depends. Like for you now, you're trying to get better at it. You probably should start analysing your Bullet games. But Grandmaster Avatech, who a lot of this has come from, Chess Mood's website, he says analyse your Blitz games because you'll notice so he analyses his students' Blitz games above all, 5-minute games mainly, because you can notice style strengths and weaknesses. But when you're doing Blitz games, you're doing it with unconscious effort a lot of the time. You're not having the time to sit and think. So you're playing these pre-programmed moves in your head. And you'll probably do that when you've got time to think as well. In longer games, you'll just play the pre-programmed moves. And they're the moves that you might be programmed incorrectly and playing the moves wrong. You're playing them on instinct. You know, he said you might notice a student might love to exchange queens and play a quiet game. They might prefer to create complications, but because of time constraints, you're not in your comfort zone. You fall into your comfort zone more, and so you can see which positions that you blunder in or how good you end. Am I boring you, Joe? You yawning there.
We are almost hitting my bedtime, but I'm loving it.
So you can look at how good their end game understanding is and stuff like that. Noel Studder, who I got wrong, Studder, is that his name?
I'm saying Studer.
I don't know. He says in Blitz you make a lot of mistakes, so just focus on the big ones, what we were saying before. Don't think about analysing every mistake. Look at your blunders. I don't know. I think that's about it, Joe. I think we've covered that one.
I think we smashed that.
Anything you want to add?
I mean, I want to talk about what we've been exceptionally loving, but in terms of analysis and stuff, I think there's a lot that I need to go away and actually kind of put into practice now. Like chess.com does have so much shit for you to kind of actually work with.
There is so much. I definitely recommend people sign up. Use our 1 month free trial. Sign up after that, mainly because we get paid a little commission if you do that. But genuinely, it is really good. It's worth doing. It's worth signing up for it. I will make a point of analysing more of my games.
Same.
Now. And I recommend, if you haven't tried it, go to something like ChessBase, create an account on ChessBase, upload one of your games. I think you could do it on Chessable as well, and take notes. And actually go into an in-depth analysis and just give it a go on one game. It's quite interesting to do, and it makes you feel like a bit of a pro, actually. And interestingly, the game I did it on, I had a repeated position in today's game that I played, and I won. I managed to do the same sort of moves, and I was almost thinking at the time as if I was analysing whilst playing. Go out there, analyse your games, or I did write at the end, is this for average Joes? I mean, maybe most of our listeners are like us, just average Joes. Who can be asked? You playing chess for the fun, you want to have a laugh.
Man. They just want to talk about fucking jokey stuff and have a laugh, but who knows? But some people out there,
pants,
mate. But some people
want to know what we've been. Some people want to know what we've been exceptionally loving, Joe. First, I want to know what you've been exceptionally loving.
All right. So I had. All right. It's not that I've been loving it, but I just thought it was quite funny. It wasn't funny. He almost died, but I almost hit a cyclist for the first time in my car. I haven't told anyone this yet.
Jofers.
No,
You've been exceptionally loving knocking cyclists off their bike in your new car.
So he came out of nowhere. It's really
you sick bastard.
I know it's dodgy driving around my area where I work and stuff. But I had to go in on a Saturday, so it was a lot quieter. I had my music on. I was just loving life. The sun was out. It was beautiful, and the road was empty. And I looked at the roundabout, or the island, as we call them in Birmingham. I couldn't see a single person, no car or anything. So I drove out, but a cyclist must have come out of nowhere. It must have been in my blind spot. And before you know it, he's in front of me and he's turning around and he's saying some really mean things. I won't repeat them, but it upset me a bit. And it's just saying like, oh, look where you're fucking going. Look where you're fucking going. And I couldn't help but think of the irony. It's like, but you've cranked your neck round to tell me this. Like, look where you're going. Like, put your eyes back on the road. But it was the first time I've ever thought like, you know what? I think I got a bit of road rage there because I'm usually quite relaxed. But I thought it was a funny moment.
Were you listening to thrash metal or Pearl Jam? I reckon it was Pearl Jam. You were listening and singing at the top of your voice.
You know what? I think it was actually Unchained Melody by the Righteous Brothers. It was a really lovely...
So bloody
it was just so funny.
That is a perfect...
I know.
I think Tarantino would put that in as
He
you
would.
run down and mow down this cyclist.
Oh, my love.
That is Tarantino-esque. Yeah, you just car going backwards and forwards, crushing him under there.
Oh.
And then would you go back and analyse your performance? Did you do that when you got home?
Yeah, that's it. Only analyse your victories, like I said earlier. But
I reckon you'll be, if we look, we'll probably find this instant on TikTok or Instagram.
I think so.
People post this shit.
He was the GoPro type, the ones that kind of record it. And the thing is, I support cyclists. There should be more cyclists. Like, yeah, I think it's amazing. Yeah. But this one was a bit rude. I didn't like him.
I've managed to knock a cyclist off their bike before. He wasn't too happy.
I vaguely remember you saying this.
Yeah, he wasn't too happy, but he got up. We both walked off all right in the end after we'd sorted it out. It was fine.
I'll ask for more questions off air, but it sounds like a good one.
Yeah,
What have you been loving now?
Yeah. I have been loving... Okay, so first thing is, it involves an apology from me. Jofers, I'm still not sure how you were exceptionally loving knocking a cyclist off his bike.
It's more just the moment, and I also felt, because I've only just started driving, I felt like that was me graduating from the school of driving. I almost hit a cyclist. I got a little bit angry, but also... It was fine. I survived.
You're exceptionally loving road rage.
Nah, I'm exceptionally loving becoming a driver and feeling like I'm part of the drivers club now. Because I'm a cyclist. I love cycling, and for years I was on the other side, being like, "Oh, you bastard, you almost hit me." But now I'm just like, look at me. I've got a car. Nice.
Is that your road rage? So this guy's turned around. He's going, "You fucking wanker! You nearly knocked me off." Blah blah. But you, when you were cycling, went, "Oh, you bastard! You nearly hit me." Is that your...
You almost killed me, you cheeky bugger.
So me, Joe, first thing I'm going to do is apologise to the people of my home city, which I do love dearly, Birmingham, for two things. First of all is for saying that the accent is a melancholy accent and for hamming it up a bit and doing that's the first thing. But it leads on to what I've been exceptionally loving, because I don't know if I mentioned it in a podcast, but a few months back when I was visiting my mum and dad, your grandparents, because my back was so bad I couldn't unload the car. So my partner, she was unloading the car. Being in Birmingham, she didn't realise you might want to move it a bit quicker. Car doors were open. And when we went to leave, our Nintendo Switch and about 400 quid of games was no longer with us. And I was slagging off Birmingham saying, these bastards walking past the car. Someone took an opportune moment to nick it. Unfortunately, Ring Doorbell had run out that day as well, so I couldn't go back and check over. I've been checking Marketplace to see if someone's selling it and thinking if they are, I'm sending you, your dad and Luke around to buy it off them and you're going to go and sort them out and bring your car. Hopefully they're a cyclist and knock them off. And so anyway, it pissed me off, and my kids have been sad about not having the Switch. I've been sad. I've been thinking I'm going to have to buy one for Christmas. Anyway, we were in Birmingham, what was it, a week ago? And we found the Nintendo Switch hidden in my mum and dad's house. It had dropped down between the freezer and somewhere, and we found it. So I have been exceptionally loving playing Mario Kart all week with my kids.
That's beautiful.
And a bit of Smash Bros as well. I'm really loving and since we paid for this expansion pack months ago, and they keep releasing 4 new courses at a time.
Oh, cool.
And since it had gone missing, since somebody hadn't stolen it but had gone missing, they'd released 8 new courses, so we had 8 new courses to mess around on. Been really bloody loving that.
Christmas time, we're loading up the Mario Kart.
It's going to be so much fun. Can't wait. So that's it from me, Joe. First, that's it for this week. Just again, thank our Patreons for supporting us. It actually really does mean a lot to us. Helps us keep going. Helps pay for Joe's insurance claims and shit like that. So yeah, if you want to support us on Patreon, head over to Average Joe's Chess on Patreon and support us there. Maybe just rate us on whatever you're listening on, follow us on social media and spread the word, share the podcast. Bloody appreciate it, don't we, Joe? First,
of course, man. It means a lot.
And if you're tempted to leave a bad review or anything like that, and you're a cyclist, you better just watch your back, because Jofers is coming for you.
With my Unchained Melody playing.
Imagine someone cycling along on Monday, here's Unchained Melody blaring out behind them. They are going to shit themselves.
He's back.
Oh, Joe Fuzz, what a pleasure it's been today. I'm going to go and get on with my evening. Catch you later.
Enjoy. Catch you in a bit.
Thank you for listening.
Bye-bye.